The train from Gunny's Lake to Plymouth arrives at St Budeaux Victoria Road. Between here and Bere Alston, it's been following the only remaining part of a route opened in June 1890, linking Lidford and Devonport Kings Road station, giving the Londoner South Western and later the Southern its own route into Plymouth. The driver gets permission to move forward from the single-track branch line. This used to be a double-track main line, taking express trains to and from Plymouth, Exeter and Waterloo. From here on, Gunny's Lake branch line trains joined the Great Western Main Line via a wartime junction installed in 1941 to allow trains to bypass the coastal route at Dawlish and Plymouth City during enemy action. The former Great Western and Southern stations and their respective lines into Plymouth are close by here. There's the bridge taking Gunny's Lake trains on the old southern route towards Plymouth. The sign shows we're 227 miles and 6 chains from Waterloo via Oakhampton. This is the bridge over the Great Western Railway. The sign here shows we're just over 250 miles from Paddington via Bristol. And looking over the bridge, we see the Great Western's Ferry Road station, and in the distance, the junction. But up to September 1964, trains on the southern route didn't follow the Great Western line into Plymouth. They had their own independent route. It ran through what's now the KFC car park behind this milepost. And then over Wolsey Road here. It went through the trees, and then it reached the first station at Western Mill Halt, which was about a quarter of a mile from St Budeaux. The cutting has been filled in, but the bridge by the station still remains. And on the street leading up to where the station was, there's a short section of railway fencing. Western Mill Halt opened in 1906 in response to competition from tram lines. Suburban trains stopped here until it closed 15 years later in September 1921. It had 2 short wooden platforms and a shelter. From here, the line was on an embankment between Wolsey Road and Carlton Terrace, and on the right you can see the new houses built on the track. The new houses are now on the left, and this is where there was an iron girder bridge over what's now the St Budeaux bypass. You can see the Great Western Bridge in the distance. The line ran on an embankment here, behind the school. The next station at Camel's Head Halt was here, where there was a bridge over Ferndale Avenue. It also opened in 1906, but didn't close until 1942. It had short wooden platforms, but these were staggered either side of the bridge. In 1922, half a dozen trains in each direction stopped here. This aptly named street is opposite the site of the station. And new houses have been built on the line. You can see them over there at the end of 3rd Avenue. This wall at the end of Erith Avenue used to divide the railway from the houses. And from here on, more houses have been built on the line. Great southern names like Maunsell, Bulleid and Drummond are remembered in the street signs. The line ran behind Wordsworth Road in a cutting before crossing Wolsey Road again here on an embankment at Swilly Bridge. It then ran what is now Biddock Drive and into an area where the cutting has been filled in and grassed over. Royal Navy Avenue went over a bridge here. And on the other side of the bridge we approach the next station at Ford, which opened in 1890. The line ran under Brunel Avenue, and from here you could look over the bridge and see Ford Station in a cutting. There was an entrance here on Station Road, where a concrete panel, made at Exmouth Junction no doubt, and iron railings are still in place. There was a concrete bridge here leading to the station buildings, which were on the other side of the track, at the top of a street of railway cottages. There were two platforms here, although nothing remains of the station. It was demolished in the 1970s, and the old cutting was filled in the 1980s. The line carried on through where these new houses are now, and across the valley on a viaduct, and there'll be more about that in part 2 of this film.